Hey, this is Rick and welcome back to another product review and install. If you're familiar with my channel, I've done a lot of DIY stuff in the past, more stuff in the past than I have. I've got some other health issues that I deal with. If you remember a ways back, I installed this. It's been years now. I get a lot of feedback on it. It's made by Whirlpool. It's a whole house water filtration system, under 50-60 bucks I believe now. This is the older model. They now have an upgraded model, and I'm going to go ahead and install that in place of this. The valve in here has gotten a little wonky, it's sticking, and when I go to change out the filters, it's giving me some problems, and I'm getting a little bit of blowback here and a little water on the floor. No big deal. I have buckets and stuff. I have 55-gallon drums that I put down there, so there's no big deal. But to make it a little bit easier, if I'm not here and my wife needs to change it out or something, I'm going to make it a little bit easier. The newer model has actually a handle on the valve itself, which is a little easier. My hands don't work as well as they used to anymore. Trying to grip the top of that cap is a little difficult, so now I'll be able to use the handle on it. The sediment filters work great. There is pros and cons of them. I use the carbon block ones, which takes out the chlorine and some other chemicals. I don't use just a sediment filter in here to take out particulate that may come down the line. We are on city water, but I still like to filter my house water. This is filtering my ice maker and our showers and everything in the home, and also before it gets to the hot water heater. So I've had some people that have gotten on me in the past about my hanger system. I've doubled them up, so it's not going to come out of there. It's nice and stiff. You can hang off this now. There's a double hanger here and a double hanger there. They do make metal hangers, but since I'm in between the joists here, I can't use it. I'd have to fabricate something, and I'm not going to go through that trouble. There's only maybe 5 pounds on there that hangs with water. It's not too heavy. This is WHKF-DWHV, and I believe the new model is actually the same model number. It's just a different design. The takeoff should be the same when I pop this out. Hopefully the other one will go in place of this one. If not, I got a little bit of play in this line. I can cheat down back and forth if I have to. If I don't, I'm going to have to install coupling in here. So I just wanted to let you see that model. There's a link to the video up there for the original one. You can check that out. It may go in a little bit more in depth on the install itself because I've already got this cut out for the new one. So check that out, and maybe that'll help you a little bit more. I do want to make one caveat. I am not a licensed plumber. I am a DIY guy. I'm doing this to save money for myself. If you don't feel comfortable with this project, then consult with a plumber. Have them come out and install it for you. I do have the knowledge to go ahead and install it, and hopefully when I'm done here, you will too. So let's get to the unboxing of the new model. Actually, it's a refurbished model, but it should be basically the same as the new model. Let's check it out. These are some of the tools that you could use for this install. I'm not going to use a hacksaw right now, but you would need a hacksaw or a sawzall to go ahead and cut your pipe. I don't have one right now. Hopefully I won't need it. You will need some Teflon tape or some kind of a pipe dope to put on your threads. A pair of channel lock pliers, adjustable pliers, an adjustable wrench, crescent wrench, some people call them. Maybe even just a box cutter to go ahead and open up your box. So as I look around the top of the cap after I took it apart, you're going to see a series of arrows right here on the top. Hopefully you can see that. Those arrows are going to give you the flow direction, so as your water comes in, that's the direction you're going to feed this filter, right down the direction of those arrows. So let's go ahead and install it. So right now I'm going to measure this. Usually you're going to want to go in. It's got about a 1/2 inch depth, so we're going to split that anywhere from 1/4 to 5/8. So when you take your measurement overall, you're going to measure across the front of it, like so. And it looks to be measuring around 5 inches. I'll go ahead and measure my old filter, and we'll see if that's going to work. So I've set the cap up there, the top of the filter, just to give it an idea. And it does look like it is compatible. But you can see that this type of canister goes around the assembly, where the other canister is going to go in and be threaded on the inside. So they're not compatible at all. But the one good thing is when we measure this, it is 5 inches, which is the same as this housing here. So they are going to be compatible. Now, like any other project, you're going to want to shut your water off. Shut your water off to your hot water heater if that's the feed that's coming in. And you're going to want to drain down your system before you go ahead and open it up and make your cuts or make your breaks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to drain it down and we'll come back. So as we're waiting here, I'm going to go ahead and show you the bracket that comes with this kit. There's some holes here. You have to drill 2 inches center to center. Put some screws in to hold this bracket in. And what would happen is if I had something here, I would have to maybe block this off and then use this. But what will happen is this would actually go into a joist like this, and then the adapters or the piping would be right in here, and then that would hold the whole filter assembly up. Like I said, I'm doubled up on my hangers here. They should be fine and sufficient, so I'm not worried about that. But I just wanted to show you that. It does come with the kit. So I believe we are drained down now, and the filter's loosening up. Usually when there's pressure on there, you won't be able to break it because of the amount of pressure on the filter itself. So once it's drained down, you can go ahead and break it loose. And if you hear that, that's back siphoning into a drain I have. And there we go. You will get a little blowback of water here. Nothing real significant. And there it is, easy peasy. Comes right off like that. That's the original one. And now we'll take our adapters apart and we'll take this assembly out. If you're familiar with these shark bite type of fittings where they're just pushed in and they make a seal, you can either press this in a ring and it'll pop out, but you can go ahead and just back them out. So we'll go ahead and do that, and I'll remove this. I'm not going to bore you with taking this out. You don't need to see all that. Plus I may do it in a couple stages. Unfortunately I need to rest after being up on this ladder a little bit. Okay, so I've removed the top of the filter assembly, and I wanted to show you something. Hopefully you can see in there. See how dark that is? That's sediment that's coming down the line. That's how much actually comes from your utility company. Every time they do those supposed clean outs and flushing, you end up getting that down on your line. And over the years, that's what's in there. Now my filter has removed most of it over the years, but that's up in the cap. Another reason I wanted to change this out. Alright, so now I've got my new filter. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the plastic. I'm going to put it in place of the stock filter that they furnished. Like I said, this is a carbon filter. Will filter out 10 microns. Granular carbon filter cartridge. Reduces chlorine, reduces bad taste and odors, reduces fine sediment, and the temperature range is 40 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Ideal for residential, commercial, and industrial applications. You can get these on eBay, or you can get them anywhere in your big box stores, and this is absolutely the same size as the one that came out of the original one. Okay, so now we've got the new cap assembly installed here on the new filter. I would suggest rinsing out your carbon filter before you put it in. It does get a little messy at times. And this is going to spin to the right. And you just want to snug it up. Make sure your filter is seated on the bottom here, and it looks like it's seated at top. You want to make sure it's in the center. And just snug it up by hand. It does come with the wrench. You just slide it up there like this. You find the groove on the canister, and you just take it a little bit tighter. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with water and make sure we don't have any leaks. If we have any leaks, we can go ahead and snug it up a little bit. We're in the off position right now, and once we fill up the line, we'll go ahead and energize the filter. So go ahead and turn your water on. Gently open the valve. Don't open it wide open. And now with the filter in the off position, we're only going to pressurize up to this side of the filter. So now that we're pressured up to this point right here, when you're in the filter position, the handle will be in line with your piping. We'll go ahead and we'll gently turn it on. And you can see it starting to fill up. You can hear it flowing through. Go ahead and energize this a little bit more. So we're in the filter position. Go ahead and check it for any leaks. You may have some water that just ran off from the install. Double check it. We'll just go ahead and snug a little bit more. She's pretty tight. So there you go. That's the new filter installed. I didn't go into major detail. I'm going to edit this video down, and I'm going to go ahead and just leave this up here on the valve. That way it's accessible anytime I go to change it out. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate the feedback. Share with your friends. Go ahead and fire me off some questions. If I get a chance, I'll go ahead and I'll answer them when I can. That subscribe button's down there in the corner. Go ahead and click that. You never know what kind of video I'm going to come up with next. Take care.